Series 1 was so educating, Series 2 was so interesting. Today we have the Series 3 and I cannot wait to share these tips with you guys. My name is Dre Star once again and I welcome you to my channel Dre Star. If you are a new viewer, I'm welcoming you. Check my channel trailer to know more about me, so you know you just didn't stumble here, came here for a purpose. Last 2 weeks we started the series of how to keep your voice in a good shape. We are continuing today, but as long as you keep finding interesting topics to talk about under this major topic, I'll always talk about it. Last week I talked about drinks you have to avoid, things you have to stop doing, things you have to imbibe. If I'm to just summarize, I'll talk about the bumblebee method, the warm water therapy. I also spoke about avoiding smoking and avoiding alcohol when you know you are so close to performing or singing, if you know you are addicted to it. But if you have not started, I would suggest that you do not start for your own good. I also said something about keeping your neck and your throat muscles relaxed. If you want to sing a high note or a low note, keeping it at a 45-degree angle max so you don't look unprofessional. This week I'll be shedding more light on a few more things that you probably weren't aware of, or you heard before and you were like, damn, it's a lie. It's not a lie. I'll be telling you things right now that actually work for you. Stay tuned. So the first thing I'll be touching right now is working on your consistency. There are most of the times when we want to learn something and we want to get fast results. It does not work that way with music. If you want to learn, if you want to grow, if you want to keep your voice in a good shape, you have to work more on consistency. You shouldn't target running all these vocal exercises, running so many warm-ups because you want to do something next week. If you want to keep your voice in a good shape, if you want to get better with your voice, what you should do is make sure that whatever you're doing, no matter how slow it is, no matter how simple it looks, make sure you're consistent with it. There's nothing that makes you better if you don't work on consistency, because that is when your body will get used to what you're doing. For every single thing you do, your body adapts to it slowly. What makes you very professional in the long run, what makes you steady and stable in the long run, is how consistent you are. People would hear you sound so good now, but in the long run, they find out you're beginning to deteriorate or your voice is beginning to deteriorate, then there'll be a problem. Some of us have YouTube classes that we attend, YouTube videos that we watch that has to do with warm-up classes, vocal classes, things we have to do before we sing. Make sure you do that consistently over a few days. It doesn't have to be every day. It could be once in 3 days, once in 2 days, it could be 3 times a week. Just make sure your voice is used to that part of you. It's just like an habit. You don't just pick one habit in a day. It creeps in gradually. So if you want to grow, make sure that you bank more, invest more in consistency. Now the question is, what do I want to be consistent about? So pick something you want to do. I want to work on my falsetto. Let me get trainings on falsetto. Then you start working towards it. You don't have to go to advanced classes or pro classes. Start from the beginner classes. That is where you get the basics of everything you want to get. There's this video I watched recently of a guy, plus size. He was trying to gym and get the old six-pack, every guy's gym and stuff like that. And he did like 5 or 10 push-ups, only for him to open his clothes and check, and the stomach was still there. It does not work that way. Do you understand? You don't just go to the gym one day and the next day you come out with 6 packs. If you have 6 packs, that means you've had it before. You didn't pay attention to it. This is how music works too. If you want to have a good voice quality, you don't just get it overnight. Forget all these movies that we watch. You don't just get it overnight. It requires consistency, and consistency births hard work. I don't mean you have to start sweating, but you have to start saying hard work is putting your mind to what you're supposed to do, and the results will come whether you expected it or not. As long as you're consistent, the results will come because your body will adapt to it and every other thing will follow. The second thing I would like to say, this is under the category of foods you should avoid. And when I say foods, it also includes drinks that you should avoid. If you know you have a performance ahead of you, you should avoid cold water. I'm not talking about natural differences, I'm talking about general ideologies. You might try it now and it works for you, and in the long run it doesn't. What cold water does to you is that it tightens your muscle. it gives you muscle tension. I don't know if this has ever happened to anybody before. I've witnessed it a couple of times. If you have a fast tongue like I do, or you have someone who stammers, give them very cold water and tell them to talk. You notice that they start having a heavy tongue, because what it does is it will stiffen your muscles starting from your tongue. And you don't want that to happen to you when you're singing, because it's more like you're talking. Your tongue is a very, very integral part of yourself. The same thing with your throat muscle, the same thing with your vocal cords. You don't want to do that to yourself. So make sure you stay off cold drinks or cold water. Another thing I want to mention under cold drinks is any drink that gives the psst sound, try to avoid it till you're done with whatever you want to do. Whenever I talk about drinks like that, I'm talking about carbonated drinks, soda. You can go online and read every drink that falls under this category. Now the question is, are you telling us to not drink all of these things so that we'll not die? No. What I'm telling you is, I said this from the onset, this is not about short-term goals. This is a long-term goal. This is you wanting to keep your voice in shape for a long time. You don't want them to hear your voice sweet today and the next few months they hear something different. Gradually, our voices will deteriorate. If close to the point in time when you want to use them, you start giving them things that they do not like. So if you know you have a ministration, a performance in a few hours, probably in the next 24 hours, in the next 48 hours, try to stay off any drink that gives that sound, because that kind of drink contains chemicals that would actually affect your vocal cords pending the time you want to sing. Once this thing starts affecting your vocal cords, in the long run it will affect you. You could drink it still when you're done singing. Afterwards, you take it again. That's why I said it's possible you sing it at that moment. The thing with drinks like that and drinks that contain a substantial amount of sugar, I was going to mention that before, but I can just add it to this right now, is the fact that the moment you drink it and you sing, let's say in a few minutes, you sound so good, it takes you to one kind of level, then it drops almost immediately. That's when you find out you've been singing so well, then just somehow your voice starts getting cracked. That is because to a point, the content in what you just took has taken you to such, it's just like someone that used crack to walk. In a few minutes, you get so energized and you want to walk, and the next minute it drains you almost immediately. You don't want to do that to yourself, especially for people who sing for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. Now, the question of what should I do? I received this question in my DM. What then should I take if I have an event or I have a performance in a few hours, in a few days, aside the warm water therapy? What if I don't like honey? What if I don't like ginger? What if I'm allergic to ginger? To answer this question here in this class, someone asked me in my DM last week. You can also opt for lemon or any citrus fruits. Citrus fruits are lemon, lime, orange, and the likes. This is because they contain an acid called citric acid. And what this does for you most of the time is that it helps you clear your throat naturally. It brings up all the dirt, all the junk in there. You discover when you take lime, the first thing it does is you start feeling some sharpness in your tongue. Comes to a time it comes down to your throat, then you start bringing out mucus. Some of you will have to sneeze. What it does is it's clearing your throat, it's clearing your tongue, it's clearing everywhere. By the time you do it for like a few days, let's say 4, 5, 6, 7 days before your show, before your event, before your ministration, you discover that you're going to sound better than you did last time. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you now start sounding like Celine Dion. No. All I'm saying is everybody has a natural voice. Everybody has a threshold they can hit. It's only going to make you hit your own threshold. It's going to make you sound better, sound more you than the you that was affected by blocks in the vocal cords. So try to take more of lemon drinks, take more of citrus drinks, oranges. Oranges will work for you. Orange is not too harsh, but it's almost do the same thing. But I would personally recommend lemon. Lemon juice or lemon drink will do a faster job than oranges would. So to round off what I've been saying, liken your vocal warm-ups, liken all of this to exercising. There's also a part of it that needs to run physical exercises to be able to control your breath. I could talk more on this in the next classes, but I'll just drop an hint about it now. You need to start working on exercises that would help you. Jogging will do a little job. If you're not the type of person that has much of the time, you could try skipping. If you're not the kind of person that has the time for skipping, try to do something that would help you increase the way you can control your breath, give you a good control So in summary, what I'm telling you is treat your voice the same way a gymnast would treat their body. There's also a part where I'm going to touch in the next few classes if time permits me. Aside vocal warm-up exercises, there are also physical exercises you can run that would help you in controlling your breath. Controlling your breath is one major part that would really help you if you want to sound as a very good singer or if you want to start singing for long hours. Aside vocal warm exercises that require you running nose, running skills, there are simple exercises like jogging, like skipping. I could run a class on it anytime soon. That would help control your breath very well. Today we've rounded up our series 3 of how to keep your voice in a good shape. To do a recap, in no particular order, I mentioned that you should avoid cold water days before your performance. Also avoid caffeinated drinks and avoid drinks that give the sound. That's the best way I can explain to you right now. Carbonated drinks, soda, and the likes, try to avoid them. I also mentioned that you should bank more on consistency than looking for fast results. Also, I mentioned that lemon and other citrus fruits will do a good job in helping you clear the junk in your throat and making you have a cleaner passage. So next class we'll be running another interesting topic. I want you to please like this video, subscribe, comment if you have anything you want me to touch in the next class, and please refer your friends and family. Thank you very much. We'll meet next class. Thank you.